Okay, and welcome again to Rhyl on a Friday night, and it's mid-February, and this week we've got a little bit of a theme going. Last week our chairman, Mr. Pritchard, suggested we have a weather theme. So if anybody's got anything prepared with any sort of weather bits in them, even if it's just the odd word, that'd be great. And if you haven't, don't worry, it doesn't matter, it's only a bit of fun. And up here it's brass monkeys. It's about -3 at the moment, but worse than that, it's blowing a gale. It is really cold. And I stuck my head out earlier and with the sky full of stars, but I didn't stay out long to look at them. So, oh God. Looking round, despite the cold, there were people sitting there in their underwear. I mean, they've all got clothes on top of it, but I can use my imagination, can't I? Yes. Okay, right, so...
Nothing bitter.
I want to do that.
Right, I'll start off on this is an Ivan Drever song. Ivan used to be in folk rockers Wolfstone before the first lot disbanded, which were the best lot, and he went his own way. Some of you may know his son, Chris Drever, who's not a patch on his dad, to be honest. Anyway, it's 14 years on Sunday that my dad died. So this is a song that, for anybody who's lost the dad really and thinks we might have done things better when he was here, you know. If I could look through my father's eyes, if I could see where he's been, if I could take me away from here, see all the things he has seen, if I could turn back time at all, if I could walk in his shoes, all of the legends he'd never tell, through all of the times we could choose. Saddle my horse again, if I could ride through the storm, weather the hardship I saw in your eyes, steer you away from the frown. If I could harness the rays of the sun, warm up the chill in your day, if I could help you through stormy seas, through all of these turbulent ways. Tell you a different tale, if I could look in your eyes, all of the memories that we could hold, through all of the truth and the lies. If I could drop me a line to say everything's going so fine, all of these hard times so far away, hiding behind the good times. If I could value your friendship here, if I could plough through the rain, all of these clouds would then disappear, if I could see you again. Ask me and I'd be there for you, sure as the night turns to day. If I could wander this path with you, through all of its different ways. Well, we had rain, we had storms, we had sun, we had the whole bloody lot there, really, didn't we?
I hate
Right.
to say it, John, but that was delightful.
Okay, so we're going down to Kent now.
Okay,
Either a Kentish man or a man of Kent. I don't know one from the other.
I think we're Kentish here. Right. I don't think there's a weather reference here, but I'll try and put one if I can think of it. What would you do if it all came back to you? Each crest of each wave, bright as lightning. What would you say if you had to leave today? Leave everything behind, even though for once you're shining, standing on higher ground. When you hear the sound, realize it's just the wind, and you notice it matters who and what you let under your skin. Put to the test, would you step back from the line of fire? Hold everything back, all emotion set aside. No one else around you, no one to understand you, no one to hear your calls. Look through all your dark corners, you're backed up against the wall. What would you do if it all came back to you? Each crest of each wave, oh bright as lightning. Do the same as you do, do the same as you do, do the same as you. Same as you, do the same as you do, do the same as you. Step back from the line of fire.
Stole it. Oh,
Lovely every time, Ian. Lovely every single time. Oh, I see we've got Dave Prescott. I'll fit Dave in on my list somewhere.
I bloody missed him. Sorry, mate. I've been trying to get on for ages, but I
Well,
don't know.
if you can find it on YouTube tomorrow. But the bad news is, if you just start from the beginning, you get me before it.
That's very good. I like you. You're very funny. You're the
You
best
can
of it.
You can
Right,
skip
I've left
through
it
that.
off. I'm not coming in for half an hour. I was just checking you there in case you got snowed out or anything. I'll be back in a bit.
Okay.
I'm just going to have something to eat.
There
Right.
we go. There he goes.
Okay. See you later.
I'll listen. I'll switch my screen off, but I'll listen.
Oh, aye, you do that.
By the way, John, did you spot I got the word wind in there?
Yes.
That's for your weather.
Yeah. Full marks.
I put that in.
But something just reminded me talking about men of Kent and Kentish men. Years and years ago, we had a do at our house when I lived at Recordiwyd, and we used to have sort of biggish parties there, and everybody used to get absolutely pissed out the brains.
Remember that.
Are you going to tell us about the Medway pheasant?
Yes. So I'd made this big sort of dish of stuff, and it was chicken thighs and all sorts of stuff. Probably made something else for Alan, a bit of a nut roast or something. But I said, it's not the original recipe, this. And Roger wasn't used to my North East Lancashire accent. I said, it should be Medway pheasant.
And I said, well,
Everybody
what's
who
a
knows
Medway
me-
pheasant?
Everybody who knows me knew that meant made with pheasant, but it was minutes later, Roger just said, is there a difference between pheasants from the Medway and other pheasants?
It should be Medway Love, John.
Yeah, a classic. Yeah, I should have gone to see Jan Jenkins, shouldn't I, to learn how to talk proper.
That's quite right. Yeah, yeah. They might be on
Right.
later, of course.
Right, moving on quickly. Mr. Durno.
This is Richard Digance. It is about the weather.
Looks like Jeff Durno.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's in Jeff Durno's front room.
The blades of a midnight windmill turn blue to dark blue to midnight. In an hour or so we'll see dawn, painting a portrait of daylight in the sky. We'll wipe the tears from out her eyes, taking all we need from off the sky. Admire the darkness, dark eyes, hypnotize. For nature has painted morning in colours that no one has used or seen before the new storm comes falling. We'll tiptoe through flowers that need the rain much more than you or I could need. For raindrops, they help sow the seed, and we'll sit by, watch Mother Nature breed. I'm expecting you'll forgive me one more time. I've lost my sense of reasoning and rhyme. Close your eyes to my direction just once more. Forgive me if I dream forevermore. Mix me a shade of darkness, tinted with love just to brighten up my day, and my eyes will marvel. Sunshine to moonshine and clouds that shine through stars. Well, nothing stays too dark too long for me to lose my morning song. And that's what I've been singing all along. Did you spot the weather in there anyway?
Yes. Holy.
Which guitar have you got tonight, Jeff? That sounded really nice.
Did.
The Loudon, cheap one.
Oh, the Loudon. Enough said.
The cheap one, £10 from Woolworths, you know that one.
Say no more. But no, very nice that, Jeffrey.
A rich
Right.
bass.
Mr. Hawkins.
Yes, Mr. Shepherd. This it doesn't have much of a reference to weather. It's got one word and a second line, but
That's enough. That's enough, Michael.
covers bass. It's called Geordie. As I walked out over London Bridge, one misty morning early, I overheard a fair pretty maid lamenting for her Geordie. Come bridle me, my milk white horse. Come bridle me, my pony, that I may ride to London's court, to plead for the life of Geordie. And when she entered in the hall, there were lords and ladies plenty. Down on her bended knee she falls, to plead for the life of Geordie. My Geordie stole no cow nor calf, and sheep he ne'er stole any. He stole 16 of the king's royal deer, and sold them in Bohemy. Two brave children I've had by him, the third lies in my body, and if you would save my Geordie's life, I'd freely part from them, everyone. The judge looked over his left shoulder and said, my dear, I'm sorry, my pretty fair maid, you've come too late, for he's condemned already. Let Geordie hang in golden chains, such chains as there aren't any, because he came of royal blood and courted a virtuous lady. I wish I was in yonder grove, where times I have been many, with my broadsword and my pistol too. I'd fight for the life of Geordie.
Good.
Just to remind everybody.
Mate.
Sorry, John. Just to remind everybody, if you like to unmute yourselves at the end of songs and give a round of applause and then mute yourselves again, feel free. Sorry, John.
Right. Okay. Right, I've lost where. Very nice, thank you, Michael. Very subtle weather. Right, it's meant to be Gwyn next. I see Gwyn's dropped out. I think he's got internet problems, but we can still put his video on, can't we, Alan? Can't hear you, Alan. You're muted.
Yeah, I've got it ready and queued up. I will mute myself before, and if you do the same, John, and I'll put it on just now, and here we go any moment.
Entering into the spirit of weather, I'm dressed up nice and warm for this one. I'm raiding the classics this week to fit in with the theme. I'm doing a poem from the 1903 by the poet T. Gwyn Jones, Mab y Storm, Son of the Storm. It's very similar in sentiment to Bob Dylan's Chimes of Freedom, from another side of Bob Dylan, where he talks about the mad mystic hammerings of the wild ripping hail. The sky cracked its poems in naked wonder. Well, T. Gwyn Jones deals with nature, and we don't often think of Bob Dylan as a nature poet, but T. Gwyn Jones deals with nature in a similar manner. Mab y Storm, T. Gwyn Jones. Fe lamodd y nos i'r wybrennau, lle gynnar roedd golau claer wyn, mae'r bryniau a niwl ar ei pennau a tharth yn wylion y glyn. Daw'r awel ledd hir fel y chenaid o galon ddom ddistaw y coed, a minnau mae'r storm yn fe enaid yn cofio ei hoed. Daw ysbryd y storm i gyfarfod, a minnau ar ganol y rhos, yn drochod y festenau harfod, fel dydd rhwng dau eigon o nos, a rhwygodd y daran yr entrych, rhwng ardwy lam ad lam a sy, chwarddithau fe enaid pan fentrych i ganol y rhy. Mae'r gwynt yn y pellter yn rhio, a'i chwiban yn gwanydd yng nghyw. Rhag gwrthlym ei donau gan suo fe'n goglais y glaw fel peth byw. Yn doned y gwyntoedd amdanaf, a glyned y glaw yn fy nghroen, a dawnsiaf a chwarddaf a chanaf o hyder ei hoen.
Very nice.
Gwen does Blues Brothers for us, I think.
Before you start, Alan, we're chucking a load of old photos out about a couple of weeks ago, and I came across this one.
On the Conway, in the River Conway, eh? Oh dear.
Yeah, there's Andy Mack with the accordion, Alan in the middle, and Nick Jackson on the end.
That was
with hankies down the head.
That was the photo
amongst the turds.
Yeah, the off-key album. That was the photo shoot.
I'm still waiting for the check for that.
Wasn't that the Architect sketch?
It looks like it, doesn't it? Right. You want me now, do you? Okay. Well, first of all, I want to thank Alan for contacting me like 4 or 5 weeks ago and inviting me to play here. It's given me a bit of inspiration to get back at it. You know, been a bit of a quiet period musically. Anyway, Weather. This is one of my own songs because I don't know any songs in Weather. This is called Stormy Thoughts. Water's rushing down again to wash away your dreams. Dark clouds gather overhead as another storm begins. You cannot cannot see what should be there neath the driving sheets of rain. Dampness all around you, discomfort still remains. You need a storm to help you see how great this life can be. The storm is done, refreshed anew, and now your mind is free. Waters rising everywhere in the moisture-laden air to wash away your inner thoughts and flush away despair. The storm has passed its peace at last, and the calmness that it leaves. So once again we face the day and the memories it weaves. You need a storm to help you see how great this life can be. The storm is done, refreshed anew, and now your mind is free. The storm is past its peace at last, and the calmness that it leaves. So once again you face the day and the memories it weaves. You cannot dwell on stormy days outside and in your mind, but look ahead for brighter days and the joy of life you'll find. You need a storm to help you see how great this life can be. The storm is done, refreshed anew, and now your mind is free. Your mind is storm is past, its peace at last, and the calmness that it leaves. Refreshed and you, we start a few, and now your mind is free. Your mind is free.
Wow.
Hey. You might have called mistake.
Right, lovely, Alan. It's just our pleasure that you get here every week.
I love it. Brilliant.
Right. So, before we go on to John and Carol, Gwyn's back. I take it you've got internet problems. We've had your poem. It would have been better just in English, but you know, there we go.
Well, everybody has limitations. Sorry, Peter.
Right, if I could cheekily put another request in, sometime, anytime, some Adrian Henry.
Oh, yes.
Especially Mrs. Albion, you've got a lovely daughter.
Yeah. That's it.
But just a request, whenever. Right, John and Carol.
Well, I can't believe it's here already. Well, here we are. This is my weather song, if you like. It's from Donovan's Gift from a Flower to a Garden. There you are. There's a name to conjure with. Excuse me, Carol, I'm just coming in there. It's called The Tinker and the Crab.
As the actress said.
Sorry? On the windy beach, the sun is shining through with weather fair. White horses riding from the sea's pasture onto the sand. Out from the sea came a little green crab, taking the sun, the morning being very drab. Old rusty cans, pebbles bedded in the stand, stand and stare. Scratching his beard, through the grass he steered his sandy shoe. Sorry. It's gone, hasn't it? Ah, yes. Scratching his beard, through the grass he steered his sandy shoe, disappearing in the dips, pondering and wandering along. No, it's gone. I'm terribly sorry. I'll have to do something else. I thought I knew that song very well.
We put people under pressure with these themes, you see.
I've gone old.
We all think we know our songs, but we don't.
Okay, I'll do this one, which has a mention of the weather in it. It's one I do quite regularly. It's also near Valentine's Day, so it fits in with that one. So... Put your arms around me, let me feel your love surround me. Feels like the warm glow of the sun. Need to feel you near me and to know you love me dearly. Come on girl, chase my blues away. Sometimes I feel like nothing's going right, and life feels difficult to bear. Turn around and I'll see you there. Feel the love I know we share, and you just blow my cares away. So put your arms around me, let me feel your love surround me. Feels like the warm glow of the sun. Need to feel you near me and to know you love me dearly. Come on girl, chase my cares away. Sometimes I feel like nothing's going right, and life seems difficult to bear. Turn around and I'll see you there. Feel the love I know we share, and you just blow my cares away. So put your arms around me, let me feel your love surround me. Feels like the warm glow of the sun. Need to feel you near me and to know you love me dearly. Come on girl, chase my blues away. Only you can take my cares away. Come on girl, and chase my blues away.
Recovered, John.
Oh, that's worth a house point.
Apologies.
Well recovered.
I did like the line that you used before.
What's that?
We've got Karen.
Yeah. Karen, you're sharing your screen for somehow. I don't know how that's happened, but there we are. Sorted.
Right. I did like John's line before he started there. It was like very polite. I think it's his polite line for when he's a little bit of foreplay. Excuse me, Carol, I'm just coming in.
Yes, I did notice your comment,
I was
John.
trying to move her over.
It was Dirty John Shepherd. Now, the other thing I noticed was, you know that saying, behind every great man, there's an even greater woman. Did you notice how Carol prompted him?
Yeah.
I wish I'd got somebody behind me prompting me when I don't get the words. Well done, Carol.
They just went, I tell you.
Yeah.
They were there and then...
That's a lovely song, John. And it's one of those songs, I know you've written it, and I don't know whether everybody knows that was your song, but there's a certain connection made just occasionally when somebody sings a song and they absolutely mean it, and it's just delightful.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I'm welling up.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, so am I.
Come on, Carol.
I'm touched. But there, that's what you get for being a mental nurse.
Yeah, come on.
So,
Kick him out, Carol.
in keeping with the theme, this poem is called Sunshine. Feel the sunshine on you. Can you feel it warming you through? The earth has awoken from winter sleep. The grass is budding, the trees are green, and the sky is a lovely blue. So feel that sunshine on you. Feel the sunshine on you. Can you feel it warming you right through? Hear the children out at play, smell the scent of new mown hay, and enjoy that sky of a lovely blue, with that sun beating down on you. Feel the sunshine on you. Can you feel it warming you through? The foliage is autumnally dressed. The fields are ripe and ready for harvest. And the sky is a lovely blue. So feel that sunshine on you. Feel the sunshine on you. Feel it warming you through. Wake to a world all covered in white. Jack Frost has visited in the night. Yet the sky is still a lovely blue. So feel that sunshine warming you. Thank you.
Feel warm of it.
I was just looking up, and I was just looking up, Llanfynydd on Wikipedia, and there's no mention of John and Carol at all. I'm shocked.
We're in Trythin.
Trythin, well, in the same community apparently.
Yes, indeed. We used to hold the club at the Cross Keys in Llanfynydd. Till the pub burnt down. Well,
so you're mentioned in Trythin then on Wikipedia, are you? Because I'll be checking.
Probably not, no. But we do get a regular mention in the village publication for the Dragon's Breath Folk Club, you know. There you are.
Right, well, thank you, John and Carol. And talking about Feel the Sunshine on You, tomorrow I was meant to be flying out to Buenos Aires. But that's buggered, isn't it? Right, so I'm stuck here now. Right, where have we got? Oh, we've got Davithan B.
That's probably two, isn't it, David?
Blimey, that was a bit sooner than we expected, but we can manage it anyway.
Yeah, well, I did have Jeff Durno in, but I moved him because he thought he might be going early.
Ah, right, okay. Well, B can go first this time, and we've both got something sort of connected to weather here. Yeah. Barra? Here she comes.
Okay. A poem. When the wind whines and the rain seeps into your brain, remember the sun is only hiding and will brighten your world again. And when that noonday sun is searing your skin, remember the cool dawn dew or frost on a starlit night. The fury of the storm awes us with nature's might. But remember the clouds will part, and all will be calm once more. If fog blurs your sight and wraps you in mist, or if snow lays its carpet of pristine white, just pause for a while in wonder. Each day has a new tune, a fresh composition that dips into night's cadence to the beat of the moon.
We were getting an echo hearing that. Was anybody else getting an echo?
Yeah,
No?
there's a couple of people unmuted.
Yeah,
Mike Davis, yeah.
Yeah, I've been round the screen. Yeah, remember to mute yourselves after you've clapped.
Ah.
Yeah,
All
if you
right.
can make me co-host, Alan.
Right. Okay. I will now, well, probably mostly recite a song of the weather, written by, I suppose, the latter-day Gilbert and Sullivan, called Michael Flanders and Donald Swan. Here goes. January brings the snow, makes your feet and fingers glow. February's ice and sleet freeze the toes right off your feet. Welcome March with wintry wind. Would thou wert not so unkind. April brings the sweet spring showers. On and on for hours and hours. Farmers fair and kindly May, frost by night and hail by day. June just rains and never stops, 30 days and spoils the crops. In July, the sun is hot. Is it shining? No, it's not. August, cold and dank and wet, brings more rain than any yet. Bleak September's mist and mud is enough to chill the blood. Then October adds a gale, wind and slush and rain and hail. Dark November brings the fog, should not do it to a dog. Freezing wet December, then bloody January again. They would have asked once to strengthen that swear word at the end.
Yeah, that's not swearing in my book. Sorry.
No, it isn't, is it really?
I'd like to hear extracts from The Wind in the Willows, David, with all the various animal voices. That would be fun, wouldn't it?
Right. I remember you said that, Alan.
I always had Mr. Badger.
You might regret it.
Oh.
You know, The Piper at the Gates of Dawn, that was a Pink Floyd album.
It was the best album they ever made, isn't
it? It was very good, wasn't it? Yes.
God, all these people showing their age. It was all before my time, that sort of stuff.
Yes, of course.
Oh, no, it wasn't.
I've had my jab this week.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
That proves you're older than us then, doesn't it?
I've got mine on Wednesday.
I've got mine on Thursday.
I got mine today.
In the end, Alan. You must have followed advice that you got on Wednesday evening then.
I'm just a spring chicken, but I do have underlying health conditions. Well, I saw somebody on good old Facebook. It's always a good place to go for health advice, isn't it? Writing underlining health conditions, and I thought,
well, you know, they do have those special clinics for that sort of thing.
You?
on, clean it up, boys.
Right, let's go down to Surrey for Helen and Mike.
Hiya, hello again.
Hello.
The sun was shining on Waitrose car park this morning, you'll be pleased to know. The only thing is that wasn't too much use to Helen because she'd been to Asda at the crack of dawn.
7 o'clock.
But
not Waitrose, Asda, you're slumming it.
Yeah.
But as the sun was shining today, we will sing about the sunshine. We will sing "You Are My Sunshine." You are my
Sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are grey. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away.
The other night, dear, as I lay sleeping, I dreamed I held you in my arms. When I awoke, dear, I was mistaken, and I hung my head and cried. You are my sunshine,
my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are grey. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away.
I'll always love you and make you happy, for you will only stay the same. But if you leave me to have another, you'll regret it all someday. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are grey. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. You told me once, dear, you really loved me, and no one else could come between. But now you've left me, and I've got nothing. You have shattered all my dreams. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are grey. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are grey. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are grey. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. Thank you.
How was the weather in that?
I don't know, really. Not real weather, anyway.
It's a guessing game.
Yeah. Right, lovely. You're lovely, you two. Thanks very much for that.
Terrific. Thank you.
We're getting most of the sort of southern English people out the way altogether here, aren't we? Because we're down with Terry next.
You got snow, Terry?
Let me have a look. Oh gosh, yeah, we have. Thick snow, freezing cold. Never mind. That's down in Essex. Yes, well remembered. Well remembered. Right, I'd forgotten or hadn't realised it was a weather theme. I'm always doing this, so I got something else prepared. But then I remembered this one that I wrote a couple of years ago, and it's got loads of weather in it. It's about the shipping forecast. I was born and raised where the cold winds blow. I followed in the family line, on the boats where the river flows, working out of Humber and Tyne. And I met my girl and we settled down with just a mortgage to pay. The cost of living had started to rise, wages went the other way. And so we worked all day and we worked all night, keep the wolf from the door. I gave it all that I had, and sometimes a little bit more. Oh, what a night, what a night. We run aground with the radio down, we're losing the light. Another go with nowhere to go, give up the fight. Don't wait up for me tonight. Don't wait up for me. Up north, we headed down south for days at a time. Out there where the weather gets rough, Rockall, Fisher and Tyne. And when the sun goes down, we turn her around, and yeah, we're headed for home. Sometimes you just had enough, you're tired, chilled to the bone. But every night there's that cold east wind, it's blowing northeasterly for. Expected late, 7 to 8, increasingly poor. Oh, what a night, what a night. We run aground with the radio down, we're losing the light. Another low with nowhere to go, give up the fight. Well, don't wait up for me tonight. Don't wait up for me. Well, I loved you before, I love you still, every step of the way. Always have and always will, I wouldn't have it any other way. But when that cold east wind's blowing out of the night, it's your voice I hear in the air. Rockall, Fisher and Bite, it carries to me out there. Oh, what a night, what a night.
Wow.
Nice.
Just need to take a
How's
moment.
that, folk?
I've said many a time, anybody, even me, can knock them out, but writing them is just another skill. That was
Bloody marvellous.
stunningly good, Terry. Thank you.
How nice of you. Thanks very much for listening, folks.
Thank you. Oh, pleasure's ours. I'm going to enjoy listening to that again tomorrow.
Yeah. We'll steal it. One of us will steal it.
I wouldn't even attempt to nick that one because mine would be just so crap by comparison.
That had shades of a chap called David Wilcox. I don't know whether you know him, Terry. American songwriter David Wilcox.
I don't, but I'll
look him up. Yeah, he's a very good. When he performs just with one guitar, and he's superb accompanist too. But he's worshipped by thousands over there.
Right.
David Wilcox.
I'll write him down. Thank you.
Right, okay, staying down south, we've got Brian, and I'll just refresh the end of the night because we've got Dave back with us. We've got Brian, we've got Gaffer, we've got Linda, and then we've got Dave, and then we've got Roger and Carl and Aloon. Oh, we've got Sally here. We haven't seen Sally for months, have we? Okay, Brian, we'll just carry on. Ignore me, we'll just carry on with you.
Okay, this is a song which was recorded by Ronnie Drew and Elena Shanley when he was on one of his breaks from the Dubliners. And it's about the environment going down the pan a bit. And as there's mention of wind and rain, I've got my coat on to try and keep dry and warm. And we're going to sing it with Linda. Which way will the branch bend when there's no wind left to blow? Which way will the river run when there's nowhere left to go? What do we tell the children when they start to ask us why? And where are the keepers who bled the whole thing dry?
What kind of air are we to breathe when there's none to take in? What kind of soul do we turn over when the fallout's been? What do we tell the children when they start to ask us why? And where are the keepers who bled the whole thing dry?
When do you think they'll tell us? Don't they know that we know too? When do you think they'll listen to the likes of me and you? What do we tell the children when they start to ask us why? And where are the keepers who bled the whole thing dry?
And what kind of rain will fall on the land that's dead and gone? What kind of flowers will look up for the sun? And what do we tell the children when they start to ask us why? And where are the keepers who bled the whole thing dry?
What colour will the leaves be? A darker shade of brown? Is this the kind of legacy to leave to the unborn? What do we tell the children when they start to ask us why? And where are the keepers who bled the whole thing dry?
Which way will the branch bend when there's no wind left to blow? Which way will the river run when there's nowhere left to go? What do we tell the children when they start to ask us why? Where are the keepers who bled the whole thing dry?
Which way will the branch bend when there's no wind left to blow? Which way will the river run when there's nowhere left to go? What do we tell the children when they start to ask us why? And where are the keepers who bled the whole thing dry?
What kind of air are we to breathe when there's none to take in? What kind of soul do we turn over when the fallout's been? And what do we tell the children when they start to ask us why? And where are the keepers who bled the whole thing dry?
And where are the keepers who bled the whole thing dry? I said it all to each other's children. Forgot to mention. That's the title.
I'm constantly amazed how well you two seem to sort of be able to link together without screwing it up on Zoom.
We have screwed it up a few times.
With confidence.
Right, well, staying
Too
down...
much information.
Staying down sort of the south of England in sort of way, we've got a professional Cornishman here, even though he's living up in North Wales now. We've got the gaffer.
How do you do?
We haven't had boring Bodmin for a while, have we?
No,
there's no weather in that.
No, it's a holiday spot, is that? Yeah. Everyone goes on holiday from there. Right, this is about not the current King of Spain, but a predecessor who had the same name, a bloke called Philip. And it's not because of the rain in Spain, because that wouldn't be spelt properly, but it does mention at one point wind, so that's fair enough. And the chorus can occur occasionally or very frequently or twice at a time. Who be the King of Spain? The English are a pain. The English, they make you wish you never was King of Spain. Who be the King of Spain? The English are a pain. The English, they make you wish you never were King of Spain. I never wanted to fight, but you must defend your rights to wear fine lace around your face and prance around in tights. Who be the King of Spain? The English are a pain. The English, they make you wish you never was King of Spain. I decided to get tough. Thought I enough's enough. When the Queen called me a big fairy and Drake called me a wuss. I'll be the King of Spain. The English are a pain. The English, they make you wish you never was King of Spain. I decided to invade the English renegade till a spoil sport called Palmer thought he'd come and put me straight. Who'd be the King of Spain? The English are a pain. The English, they make you wish you never was King of Spain. Now Britain, I have found, has got water all around. And if you were to march on her, your bleeding army drown. Who be the King of Spain? The English are a pain. The English, they make you wish you never was King of Spain. What admirals have we got? To be honest, not a lot. There's one who's dead, there's three who's fled, and the rest all got the trots. Oh, be the King of Spain. The English are a pain. The English, they make you wish you never was King of Spain. We've got one, I must admit, hardly ever left Madrid. His name's Medina Sidonia, but his mates all call him Sid. Oh, be the King of Spain. The English are a pain. The English, they make you wish you never was King of Spain. I'd never sail with him. His reputation's grim. You'd have to be daft to whop on his craft until you learned to swim. Oh, be the King of Spain. The English are a pain. The English, they make you wish he never was King of Spain. In Flanders I shall wait beside the Dover Strait. That's just 20 miles that imbecile will have to navigate. Who be the King of Spain? The English are a pain. The English, they make you wish you never was King of Spain. Up the channel Sid did go, and he sailed past Plymouth Hoe, where Francis Drake and some of his mates was having a game of bowl. Who be the king of Spain? The English are a pain. The English, they make you wish you never was king of Spain. After Sid shot past, he realised at last, aloud he cursed, he'd no reverse, and the wind was up his arse. Who be the king of Spain? The English are a pain. The English, they make you wish you never was king of Spain. So in Calais roads he hid. Guess what Sir Francis did? These great bumboats came and burst in flames and headed straight for Sid. Who be the king of Spain? The English are a pain. The English, they make you wish you never was king of Spain. Now, Sid was never so thick as to fall for such a trick. The anchors just got left to rust, the Armada pissed off quick. Who be the king of Spain? The English are a pain. The English, they make you wish you never was king of Spain. Sid realised far too late another great mistake. He'd lost the plot, he'd overshot, and up his arse was Drake. Who be the king of Spain? The English are a pain. The English, they make you wish you never was king of Spain. Now poor Palmer stood aghast as the Armada shot straight past. So he authorised the sherry supplied, his army got rat-arsed. Who be the king of Spain? The English are a pain. The English, they make you wish you never was king of Spain. Oh, take pity on my plight. I've lost the will to fight. Me navy's sunk, me army's drunk, and I've laddered all me tights. Who be the king of Spain? The English are a pain. The English, they make you wish you never was king of Spain. Who be the king of Spain? The English are a pain. The English, they make you wish you never was king of Spain.
Oh yeah. Did you cut that down from the original 34 verses, Gav?
No, I just left out a few lines of the chorus. That, by the way, would have been banned from Facebook because it mentions Plymouth Hoe.
Oh,
No, they upset the entire city of Plymouth by banning the Hoe.
Yeah, it's all down to the American way of life, isn't it? And two nations divided by the same language.
Absolutely.
Right. Okay, let's move. Well, let's stay down in the channel, more or less, on the Solent. We've got Linda.
Hi, I'm going to do A Little Jack Frost by Kate Rusby. Here is a tale of the trees in a wood. They were never that pleased on the land that they stood. So they upped and they walked on as far as they could, till they felt the sunshine on their branches. I was little boy lost and I was little boy blue. I am little Jack Frost, but I'm warm through and through. It's not easy to hide when your heart's on for view. Oh, tonight, cruel world, be forgiving. Oh, for once in my life I am living. There they did stand, there they did stay, when there came a young boy who was running away from a mad world, a bad world, a world of decay, and his comfort he sought in their branches. I was little boy lost and I was little boy blue. I am little Jack Frost, but I'm warm through and through. It's not easy to hide when your heart's on for view. Oh, tonight, cruel cruel world be forgiving. Oh, for once in my life I am living. There he found love, there he found joy, and the warmth in his heart, oh, it filled the young boy. And his friends taught him magic and secrets of old, while the trees kept him safe with their branches. I was little boy lost and I was little boy blue. I am little Jack Frost, but I'm warm through and through. It's not easy to hide when your heart's on for you. Oh, tonight, cruel world be forgiving. I was little boy lost, I was little boy blue. I am little Jack Frost, but I'm warm through and through. It's not easy to hide when your heart's on for you. Oh, tonight, cruel world be forgiving. Oh, for once in my life I am living.
We've up at Benyar here. We've not heard that one before. That was lovely, Linda. Thank you very much.
Beautiful.
Delightful.
I must apologise to
We're
Roger.
going to East Anglia next.
Oh, yes, yes.
What's happening? Oh, Carl's unmuted, is he? Right, I've got Dave next, and then Roger, and then Carl, then Alan.
There we are.
And my internet connection is unstable.
Right. Okay, I think you're all unstable anyway, aren't you, in Wales? Right, I'll say
Yes,
no more.
I would agree with you entirely there, Dave, being a fellow northerner.
Now, John, I'm not sure I've sung this before or not. I can't remember, but I'll start taking notes now. But I'm going to sing a song by John Prentice. It's called Liverpool Sally. I'm not sure. It's a song wrote by about a chap about his 15-year-old daughter that's going a bit wayward. Anyway, okay, Liverpool Sally. Liverpool Sally, you pretty young girl, out on the lanes by night. Liverpool Sally, you pretty young girl, living by candlelight. You sleep all the day when the kids are at school. You wake with a shake and a clout. Your father's a drunkard, sometimes even worse, especially when mother is out. Liverpool Sally, you pretty young girl, out on the lanes by night. Liverpool Sally, you pretty young girl, living by candlelight. Your brother and sister, they're relying on you. You're out 7 nights of the week, but they don't say nothing unless they would get the back of his hand for the cheek. Liverpool Sally, pretty young girl, out on the lanes by night. Liverpool Sally, you pretty young girl, living by candlelight. You're only 15, going on 35. Childhood has passed you by. You think that this is as good as it gets. You're living life on the sly. Oh, Liverpool Sally, you pretty young girl, out on the lanes by night. Liverpool Sally, you pretty young girl, living by candlelight. Yes, Liverpool Sally, you pretty young girl, out on the lanes by night. Liverpool Sally, you pretty young girl, living by candlelight.
Lovely.
I just imagine Edna when she was a kid with that one. These scallies are all the same.
Hey, hey. What's your wallet, lad? What's your wallet?
Right, thanks a lot, Dave. And who have we got? Roger! Have you got your fire stoked up? Yeah.
You'll need to unmute yourself, Rog. Yeah, he's done.
Okay. Right. We haven't got Nick, have we? Oh, well then that means I don't have to apologise for various taxonomic inexactitudes which may arise in this one. But it makes a mention of sitting in the sun at one point. My mother likes family reunions. Last Sunday, my sister came calling with her husband Keith, who's all kneecaps and teeth, and young Billy, who's simply appalling. He's about as much fun as cystitis. He's a foul-mouthed, vindictive young dodger. Big Mum said, "Here you, take the child to the zoo." And young Billy said, "Thanks, Uncle Roger." Well, 3 miles later, we got on the bus. He had 4 sausage rolls on the train, a cornet or 2, and he puked in the queue for the zoo and was hungry again. I showed him the llamas, the seals and iguanas, the ocelot, wombat and stoat. With a nose full of finger, he was reluctant to linger. In fact, he weren't interested in out. I said, "Oh, what a drag you are. Come and look at the jaguar and the panda. It looks almost human." He said, "That's not a surprise. Those black rings round its eyes make it look a bit like Gary Newman." I remembered the story of Albert, who was ate by a lion, so it's told. So I took little William to the Tiger's Pavilion, and off to the monkeys I strolled. There was one great big monkey who sat by himself. I mused, is he a chimp or gorilla? As he basked in the sun, he was munching a bun and reading the Daily Mirror. I looked at the monkey and he looked at me. There was nobody there but us two. I winked and he winked. I waved and he waved. And he looked and he said, "How'd you do?" I said, "Hang on a minute. Here's a cage and you're in it and you're talking." And the monkey said, "Aye. Tell me, how do you do it?" He says, "Son, there's nought to it. But I don't do it much because I'm shy." I said, "Bayek, does the keeper know you can talk?" He said, "Nay, lad, and one thing's for sure. He's not going to neither, or he'll just take a breather and leave me to conduct a guided tour." "But a monkey that talks is fantastic," said I. "Let me tell the whole world right away. You'll be a celebrity. You could meet Russell Harty. You'll be famous." But the monkey said, "Nay, I've seen quite sufficient of that there outside world on a TV the keeper installed. And you can stick your so-called culture up the oviduct of a vulture, because I don't think much to it at all. Mind you, I never thought much of the jungle as such, dark and steamy and pissing wet through. One day I thought, I've had enough. I'll write to David Attenborough, and I finished up here in the zoo. I've got 6 wives, a warm cage, 3 dinners, the papers. I'm happy and safe from the hunters. And it is grand to crap in your hand and fling it through bars at the punters. I eat when I'm hungry, I drink when I'm dry, pull my pudding when I feel so inclined. It's a real gravy train, but I can't say the same for the world that you buggers designed. Injustice, corruption, pollution, Max Bygraves, intolerance and capitalist enslavement, Downing Street's balmy resident and a criminal ex-president, and dog crap all over the pavement, Jehovah's sodding witnesses banging on door, mopeds that sound like a Stuka, Australians who wander around pissed and chunder on the table when you're trying to play snooker, jumped up hi-fi salesmen who call you sir when what they mean really is twat, kids who cry out on cars. I piss through the bars at the whole bloody miserable lot. Far away from the rabble, we sit and play Scrabble and drink a nice Darjeeling brew. We do Hammer to Gilbert and Sullivan, a philosophical discussion or two. I might put at my feet and then I'll complete the crossword the keeper can't do. Of course, during the day, we put on a show for the public, you know, wanking and defecation. But when they've all pissed off home and we're left on our own for an evening of fun and recreation, we do pottery, kung fu, darts and yoga. Charabanc trips on holidays and high days. Or we go round in gangs to the orangutans because it's wife swapping Wednesdays and Fridays. And then he looked past me. He swiveled his eyes and whispered, "Hey up, don't say out." For coming in view was my little nephew. And I went and shook him warmly by the throat. "Look at that funny monkey," said William. "Weren't the tigers hungry?" I replied. And gripping his mitt that was covered in jam, I led the young hooligan outside. Now, it could have been my imagination because it had been a long afternoon. But did I hear a voice say, as we wandered away, "Ta-ra, lad, see thee soon"? And all the way back I was thinking, when I got home, I'd made up my mind. Life's a pain in the dong, and I'm sure I don't belong in a world that I never designed. So I'm buying a fursuit and a ladder, and I'm certain for once and for all that I'm leaving behind this world's weary grind, and I'm hopping in over the wall. So the next time that you pay a visit to your relatives down in the zoo, look around carefully, and you'll probably see one or two of them looking at you. And you might find that there's two special monkeys. And who knows, it could be that the one reading the Daily Mirror is him, and the one playing ukulele is me.
Oh, yeah.
Good. Oh, absolutely. Nice.
Timing, Roger. Bloody great.
Oh, wonderful.
Looking around the Muppet boxes, what a bunch of smiles there were there. People were busy thinking about other things, and then they got caught into the story, pulled in, and big grins appearing. That was good.
Right.
Thank you. Very kind.
Thanks, Roger. That was absolutely terrific. I think I went through the story last time about the fact that Nick Jackson still owes me for taking that chimpanzee's tooth out, but
yeah.
I don't think I'm going to get paid for doing that now. Right, okay. Oh, Carl's got to follow that. Sorry, Carl.
That's all right, John. I enjoyed that. Right. This is an old song. Cat Stevens sort of made it famous in the 70s, but it was I think he stole it from a Christian hymn book. So I think it goes back to the 1930s. There is a reference to the weather in it, so I just about managed to sort of fit that in. I think it was more luck than judgment. So it's Morning Has Broken. Morning has broken like the first morning. Blackbird has spoken like the first bird.
praise for the singing, praise for the morning, praise for them springing fresh from the world. Sweet the rain's new fall, sunlit from heaven, like the first dew fall on the first grass. Praise for the sweetness of the wet garden, sprung in completeness where his feet pass. Mine is the sunlight, mine is the morning, born of the one light, Eden saw play. Praise with elation, praise every morning, God's recreation of the new day. Morning has broken like the first morning, blackbird has spoken like the first bird. Praise for the singing, praise for the morning, praise for them springing fresh from the world.
Good.
Thank you, Carl.
Mute off.
Right, no, lovely. I could see Sally enjoying that. She thought it was Sunday morning all over again.
I was waiting for Rick Wakeman to come in with his piano bit. It was Rick Wakeman that played
Alan,
on...
you're going to bring up the end of round one.
There we are. Well, I haven't sung this for a long, long time. And I too have my Loudon. I'll just sing the song. It's got weather in it. It's got weather. I'll never let you see the way my broken heart is hurting me. I got my pride and I know I can't hide all that sorrow and pain. I'll do my crying in the rain. If I wait for cloudy skies, you won't know the rain from the tears in my eyes. You'll never know that I still love you so. Though the heartaches remain, I'll do my crying in the rain. Raindrops falling from heaven will never wash away my misery. Since we're not together, I search for stormy weather to hide those tears I hope you'll never see. Someday, when my crying's done, I'm gonna wear a smile and walk in the sun. I may be a fool, but till then, darling, you never see me complain. I'll do my crying in the rain. Raindrops falling from heaven will never wash away my misery. Since we're not together, I search for stormy weather to hide those tears I hope you'll never see. Someday, when my crying's done, I'm gonna wear a smile and walk in the sun. Maybe a fool, but till then, darling, you'll never see me complain. I'll do my crying in the rain. I'll do my crying in the rain. I'll do my crying in the rain. Yeah.
That was okay, I suppose. If you
rain, weather, rain, yeah, sunny skies, yeah.
Right. Well, that's that's round. That's round, isn't it? So, that means it's me again. So, which means toilet break for most people. This is a medieval English song, written by Mr. Sidney Kipper. Me head it is frozen to me hat, snow is drifting down me back. I feel I will die of cold, in fact. Here beneath your window, let me in, Sir Jasper cried. Old Whaley, windy night, let me in, Sir Jasper cried. Here beneath your window, now the window that I've opened wide, this ploughboy stuck his head outside. He said, "You're really not my type. You should try my sister Linda." So he's found the bedroom where she snores, but that was on the second floor. And he's thrown pebbles 2, 3, 4, and the glass rained down on him. Let me in, Sir Jasper cried. Old Whaley, windy night, let me in, Sir Jasper cried. Here beneath your window, now up a ladder he has climbed, and to her window come the time, and he's knocked upon it 7 times, crying, "Open up your window." "Oh, that I will then," Linda cried, and she hath thrown her window wide, but that have knocked the ladder aside, and he's dangling by his fingers. Let me in, Sir Jasper cried. Old Whaley, windy night, let me in, Sir Jasper cried. Here beneath your window, despite that wicked wind so chill, he's hauled himself up with a will, if it weren't for the ice upon the sill, he would surely have got in home. But down he's tumbled to the ground, and there the broken glass he's found. And he hath made a fearful sound outside her grandma's window. Let me in, Sir Jasper cried, old whaley windy night. Let me in, Sir Jasper cried, here beneath your window. Now the window that I've opened wide, no, she's opened the window with a grin, and she hath kissed him cheek and chin, and he jumped in between the sheets with him, for he's frozen stiff, poor thingo. Let me out, Sir Jasper cried, old whaley windy night. Let me out, Sir Jasper cried. Well, you know the rest, don't you? Right. Okay.
Oh, Sir Jasper, do not up me.
A verse seemed to escape me there, but you got the general drift, didn't you?
Let's escape
Right.
your time, John.
Bring Carol back.
My prompt's no bloody use. Right, Ian's gone, so it's Mr. Durno.
There he is. We know the score,
Right.
don't we?
And just to refresh everybody, it's Jeff, and then it's Mike Hawkins, Gwyn, Alan, the Warbies, and then Davith and B. Anything else?
One, yes.
Okay, that'll do us for the minute.
Okay. Done, John?
Right, off you go, Jeff.
All right. This has still got a little bit of weather in it. I think I did it. Train whistle fades, last train of the day, and on the platform in the rain, you've got no one to blame, with those red shift blues, red shift blues. How you gonna lose the red shift blues? You know we've grown apart from the very start, and what drew us near has become a mystery here, with those red shift blues, red shift blues. And how you gonna lose the red shift blues? Drifting away, the stars are sure to fade. Drifting drifting apart, alone in the dark with those redshift blues, redshift blues. How you gonna lose the redshift blues? Train whistle fades, last train of the day, on the platform in the rain. You've got no one to blame with those redshift blues, redshift blues. How you gonna lose the redshift blues, redshift blues, redshift blues.
Lovely, Jeff. Who's that by?
Yes.
Surely that's the only song ever written about the Doppler effect.
Yeah.
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 Who wrote it, Jeff?
Doppler.
Canadian group called the Sweet Lowdown.
Right. That's nice, that. Really nice.
Yeah.
Right, well, and by the way, Jeff, if you've had your jab today, you feel okay today, a bit of a sore arm. Tomorrow you probably feel like shit.
Well, I'm tired enough to feel like shit now, actually.
Hang about. I had mine yesterday and I'm fine today, so it's not always true.
But at least, Jeff, you'll have the pleasure, while you're feeling poorly tomorrow, you'll have the pleasure of watching this all again on YouTube.
That's exactly right. Exactly right. I'm going to disappear now because my son was trying to phone me, so I'm just going to call him back. Okay, bye everybody.
Don't forget to come to the Dragon's Breath.
Oh, I'm sorry, John. No, we've got a poorly dog.
Oh, right.
We've got a poorly Labrador, and Tuesday it was a mess, and he's still at the vets now. We still haven't got him back, so I'll try and be there Tuesday.
Take care anyway then.
Okay.
Okay.
Night.
Ta-da. Right, Mike, Mr. Hawkins.
Right, John, Mr. Shepherd. This song's called "Rolling Home." It's not the John Tams one. This is a.
That's a disappointment already. Then
it is, yeah.
This is a 4-bitter that the sailors used to sing in the forecastle. This is on the way home from the long trips through to Australia or whatever, or to China for the tea. Rolling home. Call all hands to man the capstan. See the cable run down clear. Heave away and with a will, boys. For old England we will steer, and we'll sing in joyful chorus in the watches of the night, and we'll sight the shores of England when the grey dawn brings the light. Rolling home, rolling home, rolling home across the sea, rolling home to dear old England, rolling home, dear land, to thee. Up aloft amid the rigging blows the loud exulting gale, like a bird's wide outstretched pinions spreads on high each swelling sail, and the wild waves cleft behind us seem to murmur as they flow. There are loving hearts that wait you in the land to which you go. Rolling home, rolling home, rolling home across the sea. Rolling home to dear old England, rolling home, dear land, to thee. Many thousand miles behind us, many thousand miles before, ancient ocean have to waft us to the well-remembered shore. Cheer up, Jack, bright smiles await you from the fairest of the fair, and her loving eyes will greet you with kind welcomes everywhere. Rolling home, rolling home, rolling home across the sea. Rolling home to dear old England, rolling home, dear land, to thee. Call all hands to man the capstan, see the cable run down clear. Heave away and with a will, boys, for old England we will steer, and we'll sing joyful chorus in the watches of the night, and we'll sight the shores of England when the grey dawn brings the light. Rolling home, rolling home, rolling home across the sea. Rolling home to dear old England, rolling home, dear land, to thee.
Wow. Brilliant, Mike. Brilliant as usual.
Very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Fabulous voice.
Fabulous.
The woman next to me is always singing "Rolling Home to Caledonia."
Well, that's the other version. That's the.
I've also heard a song about Kevin Barry sung to that tune, "Shoot me like an Irish soldier, do not hang me like a dog."
Well,
It's the folk process.
Yeah,
That's right.
The Irish and the Scots still do. They mess anything up, don't they?
I was singing "Rolling Home to Dear Old Finland." I don't know.
well, you're Welsh. What could you expect?
Right, come on. I've got a lot to get through here. We've got Gwerin live.
Where is he? Where is he? He's gone.
Oh.
Shuffle him. Shuffle him.
No. Right, okay. Well, after he's gone to empty his bladder or have a little light casual sex or something. So we'll come back to him. So it's Alan.
Can you hear me, Mother?
Yeah, it's Alan Manouche, the man who thought that Screwfix was a dating website.
Inappropriate, John. Come on. This is another little ditty from mine. I mean, because I don't know any songs. This is every year on my birthday I go to Lochimber in Scotland, and I hire this little cottage. I mean, really remote, overlooking the Old Man of Stoya. Very windy, very cold, and it's called Taiuenya, which is the name of the cottage. So I just wrote this song about it. It's a simple little song, so it's got weather in it, so I thought I'd better do it. tie you when you're inside its wall. A shelter from the winter storm. Outside the wind does what it will. For inside your heart it's always still. Sheets of rain go sailing past. How long's this storm gonna last? And when the sun begins to shine, it brings warmth to heart and mind. Tie you when you're inside its warm. A shelter from the winter storm. Outside the wind does what it will. For inside your heart it's always still. That's the beauty of this place. It can warm you hand and face with every minute of every day. Brings all your senses into play. Tie you when you're inside its warm. A shelter from the winter storm. Outside the wind does what it will. For inside your heart it's always still. For inside your heart it's always still. For inside your heart it's always still. Tie you when
My fiddle player used to do a tune called Leaving Stir. Duncan Chisholm tune.
Duncan Chisholm.
Beautiful tune.
A beautiful area of the world. I mean, it's always wild and 100-mile winds, but you go up there with 12 bottles of red wine, a notebook, your guitar, and just lock yourself in. It's brilliant.
Smashing.
Yeah.
With a bottle of something.
We're getting close.
That'll do,
Well,
then.
if it goes to plan, we're up to Scotland in June, and we get up to a Clwb, which is not far off, a little bit south of where you were, I think.
I've got another friend that lives up in Borgie, near what's the place called? Tongue. Right up on the top. He's got a little hunting lodge there that used to be some lord's hunting lodge. Really nice place. That
Right,
is.
run that past another friend. You've
Yeah.
got more than one. I think that's showing off.
Sorry to disappoint you. I've got two.
It's showing off that.
Yeah, I used to do a school up there when I was working up in Caithness. I think that was about the furthest I got west was round about Tongue, Betty Hill.
It's an amazing journey, like 53 miles, from Bono Bridge on single track road. It's amazing. Well worth a trip. If you've not been there, go there, please.
And you might have noticed that Altnahour has been in the news this week. Cause
I saw that. Yeah, I've been. It's a nice hotel there, actually.
You know, that was another of my schools. I think there were about 7 kids in that school.
Really? Oh,
So
mate.
it took me best part of a week to go down in there and sort of check the teeth. Yeah, it was remote down there.
It is.
Right, okay. Is Gwen back? Yes.
I can see him.
You were having a lavatory break.
Well, the cold doesn't come without its companions. And age, of course.
Okay. let's hear something from his Uncle Bobness.
No, this is going to be a John Prine song.
Oh.
You wanted weather, so we're going to do weather, and we'll have a go at this. It got so hot last night, I swear, I could hardly breathe. Heat lightnings lit the sky like alcohol. I sat on the porch without my shoes, watching the cars roll by. Headlights raced to the corner of the kitchen wall. Mama dear, your boy is here, far across the sea, wishing for that palace that rides inside of me. And I feel a storm, all wet and warm, not 10 miles away, approaching my Mexican home. My God, I cried, it's so hot inside, could die in the living room. From the window up the door open with a broom. The cuckoo clock has died of shock, the windows feel no pain. The air's as still as the throttle on a funeral train. Mama dear, your boy is here, far across the sea, waiting for that sacred core that burns inside of me. And I feel a storm, all wet and warm, not 10 miles away, approaching my Mexican home. Well, my father died on the porch outside on an August afternoon. Sipped bourbon and cried with a friend in the living room. And it's hurry, hurry, step right up, it's a matter of life and death. And the sun's going down and the moon's trying to hold its breath. Approaching my Mexican home. Approaching my Mexican home. Thank you. Okay. We have the kids up. It's not strictly kosher, but their schooling is vitally important, and their Welsh schooling is vitally important. So we have them up, and it's quite fun. I was teaching Chinese through the medium of Welsh. Now this is it gets interesting. It really does.
That beggars belief. I mean, yeah.
And yet you have to do a recording to send into the school. They've got a hub or a class dojo, as it's known, and you post things to this dojo. And recording of him speaking Chinese with a Welsh accent. They didn't tell me whether it was Mandarin or the other version of the Chinese language, because there's two major Chinese languages, of course.
Cantonese.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. The two largest language groups in the world, in fact.
Special fried leek.
So do you say ying tong ying tong ying tong ying tong ying tong light bow?
Yeah, I say. Yeah, that's not bad for an Englishman, actually.
He's just a goon, you know.
Right, okay, shut up, the lot of you. Come on, it's the Warbies.
I've got a cant on my knees actually now as I'm getting older. Never mind. Right. I'm going to try and do the song I started with before and forgot. So I had a quick on the windy beach, the sun is shining through with weather fair. White horses riding from the sea's pasture onto the sand. Put it down. Over the dunes came a travelling man, drinking a bottle of milk in his hand, speaking to no one in particular, but happily. Scratching his beard, through the grass he steered his sandy shoe, disappearing in the dips, pondering and wandering along. Nice as you please comes the travelling man, drinking a bottle of milk in his hand. Old rusty cans, pebbles bedded in the sand, stand and stare. Down where young gulls dance, driftwood lying, drying for the fire. Yellow beak and sleek, now the gulls are crying, flying higher. Out from the sea came a little green crab, drinking the sun, the morning being very drab. Old rusty cans, pebbles bedded in the sand, stand and stare. The tinker and the crab, the tinker and the crab, the tinker and the crab.
Well done, that man. Well done.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah, you didn't need the missus for that, did you?
Not really. I always need the missus, but you know, there we are. Right, me miss. Off you go. Going down Curnow now. See?
And this is continuing with the weather. And it's called St Ives. St Ives in the sunshine is a special place to be, with the sand and the surf and the shimmering blue sea. Stretching my legs, wiggling my toes, splashing through the waves, exploring the coves. But St Ives in the rain refreshes differently. White surf, waves crashing, surging rough sea, jumping over puddles, running through the rain, sipping hot tea, watching the rivulets down the window pane. I like St Ives all the year round. I've even been there when there's snow on the ground. It's a place to relax, to chill and unwind, to renew your energies and bring peace to your mind. Thank you.
There you
Yeah, we've been watching the Rick Stein series. We recorded the whole lot, and we thought, surely you can't make 15 episodes out of Cornwall.
Of course you can.
But it's been a cracking good series, and we're sort of a bit behind. The one we watched last night was the one in St Ives. It was really good with all the artists and all the stuff.
Great.
It's been an excellent series.
Absolutely.
Right. Okay. It's Davith 1 from Davith and B. Please let it be B. Please, please, please let it be B.
No, I'm afraid not, John. And not only that, but I'm going to introduce you to some culture. Do you know, I'm introducing you to some Keats. And I bet not one of you horrible lot knows what a Keat is. Now, here we go, if I can find it. Right. There was a naughty boy. A naughty boy was he. He would not stop at home, he would not quiet be. He took in his knapsack a book full of vowels, and a shirt with some towels, a slight cap for nightcap, a hairbrush, comb ditto, new stockings from old ones would split this knapsack tight at its back he riveted close and followed his nose to the north. He followed his nose to the north. There was a naughty boy, and a naughty boy was he. For nothing would he do but scribble poetry. He took an inkstand in his hand and a pen big as 10 in the other. And away in a pother he ran to the mountains and fountains and ghosts and posts and witches and ditches, and wrote in his coat when the weather was cool, fear of gout, and without, when the weather was warm. Oh, the charm when we choose to follow one's nose to the north, to the north, to follow one's nose to the north. There was a naughty boy, and a naughty boy was he. He kept little fishes in washing tubs 3. In spite of the might of the maid, nor afraid, or his granny good, he often would hurly-burly get up early and go by hook or crook to the brook and bring home miller's thumb. Tittlebat, not over fat, minnows small as the stall of a glove, not above the size of a nice little baby's little fingers. Oh, he made, 'twas his trade, of fish a pretty kettle, a kettle of fish, a pretty kettle, a kettle. And now here's the bit you probably all know. There was a naughty boy, and a naughty boy was he. He ran away to Scotland, the people for to see. There he found that the ground was as hard, that a yard was as long, that a song was as merry, that a cherry was as red, that lead was as weighty, that 80 was as 80, that a door was as wooden as in England. So he stood in his shoes and he wondered. and he wondered. Diolch yn fawr.
There was a lot of alliteration in that.
Bit, yeah.
Yeah, I think
Not quite cymhanes.
The club's had. I don't remember Keats being at the club before.
Oh.
There you go.
No. Right, well, thank you very much, David. That was, despite, what I say about you.
Despite. That'll do. That'll do.
Despite.
Yes.
Okay, somebody else who we take the piss out of weekly.
Oh, no.
Mike and Helen. Oh, he's not got his guitar. He can't even remember the chords.
Oh, they're singing unaccomplished.
There is a reason for that. We had Sunshine for our first song, so it seems appropriate to have Rain for the second one. We're going to do Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain, and that allows me to bring out my new toy, which is this, which is, a shock horror, I know. It's not exactly what you might think it is. It's a banjitar, which allows me to add the excruciating tone of a banjo to my execrable guitar playing.
Are they easier to keep in tune than a normal banjo, or are they just the same, permanently out of tune?
Oddly enough, it does seem to stay in tune. No, actually, I should say it goes out of tune because that will explain the terrible playing. But, yeah. In the twilight glow, I see them, blue eyes crying in the rain. When we kissed goodbye and parted, I knew we'd never meet again. Love is like a dying ember, only memories remain. Through the ages I'll remember blue eyes crying in the rain. Someday when we meet up yonder, we'll stroll hand in hand again. In a land that knows no parting, blue eyes crying in the rain. Now my hair has turned to silver, you noticed? All my life I loved in vain. I can see a star in heaven, blue eyes crying in the rain. I can see a star in heaven, blue eyes crying in the rain.
Oh, yes.
First starting with a banjitar. Maybe the last. Yes.
It's
It'll
like
be
a
on eBay
guitarist.
next week.
It's like a guitarist walking to the edge of the cliff, and down below there's a host of banjo players, and he thinks of dipping his toe, but he's not going to jump.
Yet.
Look out for it on eBay next week.
Oh, I want to be buying that.
Right, okay. Before we hear Terry, can I just go to Andrew Pritchard and ask him what? Oh, he's gone. No, he's got bored. He thought he heard a banjo, so he buggered off.
What you want to know the solution to his?
To know what that sort of crossword clue or whatever was about.
It was Carol King.
Terry's there. Terry's primed, ready.
All right.
He's on the boil.
That's what was the answer to the crossword? What was it about?
It was tapestry.
That was my guess,
Records
eventually.
score, tapes try.
Tapes try. There you go.
Tapes try.
Cryptic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I needed the Carol King clue before I got it. And I pretend to compile the bloody things.
Okay, right. Well, that was lovely. That last one. And Alan sang the was it the Everly Brothers? I Do My Crying in the Rain. Was that the one?
They, among others, yeah.
Among
yeah.
others.
Carol King as well, yeah.
Of course. And what's the one I just can't get? I can't think who. It was either a Johnny Ray or a Guy Mitchell. They did a In the Rain. I'm sure.
Blue Eye. No, there's Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain, which is Willie Nelson.
No, not singing
in the rain.
No. This is Guy Mitchell. This is going way back. I'm sure, or Johnny Rain. It was one of those two. Anyway, this is here we go. This is another song with weather in that I've dug up. Sometimes I wonder where the people go when the river runs dry. Sometimes I wonder where the people go when the river runs dry. Sometimes I wonder where the people go. Do they take to the hills where the cold winds blow and nothing remains but the dog and the crow when the river runs dry? Sometimes I wonder if the people survive where the cold winds blow. Sometimes I wonder if the people survive where the cold winds blow. Sometimes I wonder if the people survive, wonder if the little ones even arrive, sleeping in the hills with the night in their eyes when the cold winds blow. Heads down low when the soldiers come by. The dog and the crow keep their heads down low when the soldiers come by. The dog and the crow keep their heads down low. Only living thing in the world that they know. There's nothing's gonna change till the river's in flow. south and the rain is coming and the river runs high. The wind's in the south and the rain is coming and the river runs high. Winds in the south and the warm winds blow, and everywhere people coming back to their homes. But sometimes I wonder if it's too late for those with the night in their eyes.
Superb.
Oh.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Your use of rubato, to use a technical term, is delightful. It comes and it goes and it drags you with it. It's great.
Oh, that's lovely. I love a bit of rubato and custard, don't you? I think.
Yeah, rubato and custard. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
lovely.
Yeah.
Thank you, Alan.
Da iawn.
Right, thanks ever so much for that. Tell you, I just looked around all the little boxes and everyone was just sat there, mesmerised. That was beautiful. Right, okay, Brian, you've got to follow that.
Yeah, afraid so. Anyway, this is a bluegrass number by Bill Monroe and the Bluegrass Boys with 3 added verses, and it's called I Found Her Little Footprints in the Snow. Now some folk like the summertime when they can walk about, strolling through the meadow green, it's pleasant, there's no doubt. But give me the winter time when the snow is on the ground, for I found her when the snow was on the ground. I traced her little footprints in the snow, I found her little footprints in the snow. I bless that happy day when Kitty lost her way, for I found her when the snow was on the ground. My girlfriend was a garment worker, and we walked out last winter time. Little Union Kitty was a dear sweetheart of mine. We walked all round all winter, and I felt so very fine, for I first met her when the snow was on the ground. I traced her little footprints in the snow, I found her little footprints in the snow. I blessed that happy day when Kitty lost her way, for I found her when the snow was on the ground. I called to see the girl I loved one winter's afternoon. Her mother said she'd just step out, but would be returning soon. I found her little footprints and I traced them in the snow, and I found her when the snow was on the ground. I traced her little footprints in the snow, I found her little footprints in the snow. I blessed that happy day when Kitty lost her way, for I found her when the snow was on the ground. I saw her little footprints just outside the cottage door. I traced it down a country lane, I traced it to the moor. I'd found she'd lost her way, and there she stood in blank dismay, not knowing where to steer with the snow upon the ground. I traced her little footprints in the snow, I found her little footprints in the snow. I blessed that happy day when Kitty lost her way, for I found her when the snow was on the ground. I took her back to her mother, and as we were walking home, she promised me that nevermore without me she would roam. I'm happy now for life with her, and I've made her my wife, for I found her when I traced her footprints in the snow. I traced her little footprints in the snow, I found her little footprints in the snow. I blessed that happy day when Kitty lost her way, for I found her when the snow was on the ground. Time has passed, she's up in heaven now with the angel band. I know I'm going to meet her one day in that promised land, But every time the snow falls, it brings back memories, for I found her when the snow was on the ground. I traced her little footprints in the snow. I found her little footprints in the snow. I bless that happy day when Kitty lost her way, for I found her when the snow was on the ground.
Nice.
So you married a cat? Is that what you're saying?
No. I don't think I said that, did I? Yes, I got it wrong.
Right. Let's move on. Before we get to the gaffer, I'd just like to say we've got sort of three little boxes at the end. There's the Stokies, who haven't put the camera on tonight. We assume they're doing something naughty on the settee. Michael, who comes here every week and sits through this rubbish week after week. Thank you very much for coming, Michael. Catalonia 3.
Well, that'll be Spaniards. There'll be Spaniards, Catalonia 3, won't they?
Who'd be the King of Spain? Right, anyway, Catalonia 3, thanks very much for turning up, whoever you are. And I'm sorry it's been a load of crap tonight.
The Stokies did explain that their computer's playing up and their camera doesn't seem to want to work. Otherwise, they would have shared their delightful visages with us.
Ah, right. And we've not had Natasha from Moscow tonight, because I think if I'd been whimpering about temperature of -3, she'd have just said, "Ha, ha! Springtime."
We cook at -3.
Bikini weather, -3 in Moscow. Right, okay, Gaffer.
Aye, I just wonder if the member from Massachusetts were here tonight, he could just introduce his name and then he wouldn't need to put weather in his song, would he? This one unusually mentions the entire lineup of Fox Firkin in line 13. It also mentions Mr. Shepherd, and if Rick were here and Nick were here, it mentions them as well. It's only got one verse, and it hasn't got a chorus. It's only got a refrain, which is the last 40 lines of the verse. Or to put it another way, the first 40 lines of the verse, or to put it a third way, the entire verse repeated. But it's differently phrased. And when you phrase it differently, strange things happen. And another 36 words appear, each of which is a county of Ireland. And Algeria doesn't count as a county of Ireland if you've got it on your sofa.
This rubato is powerful stuff, isn't it? If you pull it about a bit, things emerge.
Oh, indeed they do. Is that? Oh, it's rubato I'm doing, is it? I thought I was rephrasing it. Yeah, 36 counties of Ireland, and as there are only 32, anyone who isn't a mathematician but is a geographer might be a little confused, but that's because Kerry gets mentioned 5 times.
You should perhaps explain that the first verse is all about all the characters who used to go to Conway Folk Club in the, what was it, 90s.
In that ship, that smelly ship.
Yes. Whose idea was it to have a frigging folk club on a folking frigate?
Could be me.
Well, it couldn't.
Dave Rimmer.
Oh yeah, it needed a bilge pump. That's all I'm saying.
Well, a working one, yeah. We were sailing up the Shannon to our nation's boggy heart, where north meets south and west meets with ease. So clear the decks and trim the sails, screw down the hatch they've promised gales, and keep the green flag always flying in the breeze. For when the sailor's off the leash, he's no good for man or beast. When we arrive, we let the sails down quick. Lowered the anchor, lowered the boat, for the shore we swiftly rowed. For a sailor boy will seldom miss a trick. We carried sheep, we carried hogs, we carried peat to fill the bogs. We carried wax for doing the hairs on ladies' legs. But this fine cargo we ignored, and we left the lot on board, except some awfully tasty stuff in kegs. Then Alan, Nick and Andy Mac, having half an eye for crack, started playing and a hoolie did begin. And in there wandered late Rimmer in a rare old state, and with gay abandon eagerly joined in. Michelle came with her uncle, darling Carol came alone. There was another tree that came along in pairs, with a twinkle in their eye, grabbing kisses on the sly and going round a waggle in their derrieres. In skirts too long for dancing, they're as common as can be. They all scream as they're thrown around the floor. Each can't wait to plant her bum on a handy sailor chum, and three guesses what she plants it on there for. Meanwhile there's Pat behind the bar, uncorking bottles by the score, fetching water for diluting the poteen. Sure it takes a man with class to pour a double in a glass, with each arm around a different colleen. There were two women who could never keep their sticky hands off Trevor. Each would tip our hairy fiddler the wink. And two lights from off the boat chatted up Lucinda's goat. And all three of them were worse the wear for drink, especially the goat. And Dennis hurt his ankle, Kenny lost a couple of teeth. You may only guess what happened to our ma. Risking life and risking limb, our Rick and Jay both powered in. And you should have seen the carnage after that. Then a funny-looking dentist sang a song about his guts, dribbling Guinness down the curry on his vest. Then poor Pat ran out of drink, and myself ran out of ink. So I leave you to imagine all the rest. And now comes the refrain. We were sailing up the Shannon to our nation's buggy heart, where north meets south and west meets with the east. So clear the decks and trim the sails, screw down the hatch they've promised gales, and keep the green flag always flying in the breeze. For when a sailor's off the leash, he's no good for man or beast. So we arrived, we let the sails down, quick lower the anchor, lower the boat for the shore. We swiftly rowed, for a sailor boy will seldom miss a trick. We carried sheep, we carried hogs, we carried peat to fill the bogs. We carried Wexford, doing the hairs on ladies' legs. At this fine cargo we ignored, and we left the lot on board, except some awfully tasty stuff in kegs. Then Alan, Nick and Andy Mac, having half an eye for crack, started playing, and a hoolie did begin. And in there wandered late Rimmer in a rare old state, and with Gayup and Donegal joined in. Michelle came with her uncle there, Ring Carol came along. There was another tree that came along in pairs, with a twinkle in their eye, grabbing kisses on the sly, go in round a waggling their derry hairs, in skirts to Longford, hands in their Roscommon, as can be, they all scream as they're thrown around the floor. Each can't wait to plant her bum on a handy sailor chum, and she guesses what she plants it on there for. Meanwhile there's Pat behind the bar, uncorking bottles by the score, fetching Waterford a lutin the poteen. Sure, it takes a man with class to pour a double in a glass, with each arm around a different colleen. There were two women who could never keep their sticky hands off Trevor. Each would tip our airy fiddler the wink. All two louts from off the boat chatted up Lucinda's goat, and all three of them were worse the wear for drink. Then Dennis hurt his ankle, Kenny lost a couple of teeth. You may only guess what happened to our ma. Risking life and risking limb, our Rick and Jay both powered in, and you should have seen the carnage after that. Then a normal-looking dentist sang a song about his guts, dribbling Guinness down the curry on his vest. Then poor Pat ran out of drink, and myself ran out of ink. So I'll leave you to imagine all the rest.
I feel exhausted for you, Gaffer. I feel completely knackered watching you.
Oh my goodness.
That's all of us.
Very.
Raising its heart.
I've not heard that for years and years.
No.
Absolutely amazing. What Lucinda will think about that line, I do not know.
Nah.
Yeah.
Right, okay, we're a bit over, but we're keeping going. We're not going to stop. Linda, she's all ready. What a pro.
Another cake recipe, Let the Cold Wind Blow. Oh dear me, what do mine eyes see? James Reynolds and my love sat under yon tree. Oh, my heart it bleeds, for she loves him indeed. Sing high lolly at the end of the day. Sing high lolly at the end of the day. Here I stand, empty heart, empty hand. Why, he has my true love and he has the land. Oh, my heart is sore, for she loves me no more. Sing high lolly at the end of the day. Sing high lolly at the end of the day. No more she'll fly, no more she'll cry. All over the cold earth beneath which I lie. Oh, my heart it grieves, for my side she now leaves. Sing high lolly at the end of the day. Sing high lolly at the end of the day. Let the cold wind blow, let the years come and go. I wait for my true love, though she'll never know. I wish them no rest, like the heart in my breast. Sing high lolly at the end of the day. Sing high lolly at the end of the day. I wish them no rest, like the heart in my breast. Sing high lolly at the end of the day. Sing high lolly at the end of the day.
Lovely, Linda. Lovely. Right, we're glad that you got on the ferry and got back in time tonight. Okay, Dave Prescott has just departed, so there's just Alan left now. And
has he gone?
We're going to be about quarter of an hour over the time, but I think we can manage that. But
is Carl not? Carl's there, looking very serious. Has he got another one? Has he got another one for us?
No.
No. Right.
No, he's doing his pools, I think. Right, okay, Alan, round the night up first.
Can you hear the accordion? Is it loud enough? Yeah, so I won't turn it up then. Here's a song that the weather theme cries out for. So I'll give it no introduction. I'll just go into the song. You know the song. Do sing along with it. Oh, here's Alice and David. Look, they've got the camera working. Hello. Here we go. Oh, it's on Mike Hawkins' LP. It's the only LP he's got. It's called Penguin Eggs by Nick Jones. Some people think it's Nick Jones's album, Penguin Eggs, but it's actually Mike Hawkins. Here we are. Where the winter blizzards blow and the wailing fleets at rest, tucked in Leith Harbour's sheltered bay, safely anchored 10 abreast. Well, there's the whalemen at their station, as from ship to ship they'll go, and they carry bags of coal with them, and a little iron stove. In that little dark engine room, where the chill seeps in your soul, how we huddled round that little pot stove that burned oily rags and coal. The fireman Paddy works with me on the engine's frozen coal. A stranger to the truth was he. There's not a lie he hasn't told. Well, he's boasted of his gold mines and of the hearts that he had won, and his 40 sense of humour shone just like a ray of sun. In that little dark engine room, come on, where the chill seeps in your soul, how we huddled round that little pot stove that burned oily rags and coal. We live it 7 days a week, cold hands and frozen feet,
Bitter days and lonely nights, making grog and having fights. There's salt fish and whale meat sausage, here we go, and fresh penguin eggs a treat. And we struggle on to work each night, through the icy wind and sleet. In that little dark engine room, where the chill seeps in your soul, how we huddled round that little pot stove that burned oily rags and coal. Then one day we saw the sun, saw this factory ship return. Meet your old friends, sing a song. We hope the journey wasn't long. Then it's homeward bound and it's over as we leave this icy hole. But I always will remember that little iron stove in that little dark engine room, where the chill seeps in your soul. How we huddled round that little pot stove that burned oily rags and coal. In that little dark engine room, where the chill seeps in your soul. How we huddled round that little pot stove that burned oily rags and coal. How we huddled round that little pot stove that burned oily rags and coal.
Woo!
Amen.
Oh, the nanny. Oh, that. Gosh.
Smashing song, isn't it?
What an ending.
I was okay there till the key change, and then that just left me for dead. I'm sorry.
Just a tone up, just a tone up. There we are.
Right, okay,
that's it. Changes. That wouldn't have done you a lot of good, John.
Thanks, everyone, for making the effort with the weather. We'll probably have another theme thing in a few weeks. So next week, you can do what the hell you want. It really doesn't matter.
Hooray!
And I think we're going to be zooming
The
for a
hell
while.
is it?
Sorry?
The theme is what the hell is it?
Oh, it's a good theme.
Good theme. Not next week though.
No.
As long as there's no more of Andrew's cryptic clues,
No,
I don't care what.
Leave them alone.
You didn't get it then, John, did you?
I did.
I'm busy. I've got stuff to
You
do
are
here.
busy.
I can't be
You are busy.
bouncing about doing that sort of crap.
Shall we wind it up?
I've been tested this week, you know. They tested me for my patience and I came out negative.
You need testing regularly, you do.
Tell us something new.
Yeah, I'm the same grumpy old git that I was before.
Oh,
right, okay, we'll stop and have a little chat afterwards, but Alan's about to press the button and end the recording, and we'll see you all next week.
Ta-ra.
Bye,
No
everyone.
star.
Thank you.
No star.
No